You ever just lie there, staring at the ceiling, waiting for sleep to come? Feels like a cruel joke sometimes, doesn't it? You know you need the rest, your body begs for it, but your mind won't settle. So you toss, you turn, you check the clock. 1 hour, 2 hours, maybe 3, and before you know it, the sun starts creeping in, and you've barely caught a wink. You wake up feeling worse than when you laid down. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Millions struggle with sleep. Some blame stress, some blame screens, some even think they were just born bad sleepers. But the truth is, sleep isn't something that should be forced. It's something that happens naturally when your body is in balance. And balance starts with what you put in your body. See, long before pharmacies and over-the-counter sleeping pills, people relied on nature to guide their rest. They didn't need chemicals. They had food. Real, whole, natural food that nourished the body and prepared it for deep, restful sleep. And today, we're going to talk about 6 such foods. 6 simple things you can eat that are stronger than sleeping pills, without the nasty side effects. But before we get to the list, let's start with a truth most people ignore. Your sleep problems don't start at bedtime. They start the moment you wake up. What you eat during the day affects how you sleep at night. Think about it. If you drink coffee late, you know you'll struggle to fall asleep. If you eat a greasy, heavy meal, you know you'll be restless. But what if I told you the opposite is also true? That there are foods you can eat, even in the morning, that will set you up for the best sleep of your life. Let's talk about one of them. The first food that's stronger than any sleeping pill is something ancient cultures have sworn by for centuries. A tiny, unassuming seed, rich in magnesium, packed with tryptophan, and full of the kind of nutrients that tell your brain, it's time to relax. Pumpkin seeds. Most people don't think twice about pumpkin seeds. Maybe they eat them in trail mix or toss them aside after carving a pumpkin. But these little seeds are nature's sleeping pill in disguise. One of the biggest reasons people struggle with sleep is because their magnesium levels are too low. Magnesium is a mineral that helps your nervous system relax. It literally tells your muscles, let go. And when your body has enough of it, you don't just fall asleep faster. You stay asleep longer. But here's where it gets interesting. Pumpkin seeds don't just give you magnesium. They also give you tryptophan. Ever heard of tryptophan? It's the same thing in turkey that makes people feel sleepy after Thanksgiving dinner. But unlike turkey, pumpkin seeds are a plant-based source, which means they don't come with the heavy, bloated feeling meat can give you at night. Now, you might be wondering, how do you eat them for better sleep? Simple. A handful of raw, unsalted pumpkin seeds in the evening is enough to give your body a natural dose of sleep-enhancing minerals. If you want to take it up a notch, you can blend them into a smoothie or mix them into yogurt with a little honey. Another natural sleep aid we'll talk about later. But pumpkin seeds are just the beginning. Another powerful sleep-inducing food is something your grandmother probably swore by: warm milk. Now, I know some people have moved away from dairy, but hear me out. Warm milk before bed isn't just an old wives' tale. It's backed by science. Milk contains a natural combination of calcium and tryptophan, 2 things your body needs to produce melatonin, the sleep hormone. And it's not just the nutrients. It's the ritual. Drinking something warm at night signals to your brain that the day is winding down. It's comforting. It slows you down. It's why so many cultures, from India to Europe, have nighttime drinks that help them sleep. But if dairy isn't your thing, don't worry. There's another option: almond milk. Almonds, like pumpkin seeds, are full of magnesium. And almond milk, especially when warmed, has that same calming effect on the nervous system. In fact, studies have shown that people who consume almonds regularly fall asleep faster and wake up feeling more refreshed. And that's the goal, isn't it? Not just to sleep, but to wake up feeling good. We've covered pumpkin seeds, warm, milk, and almonds. 3 foods that can change your sleep for the better. But we're just getting started. There's something else, something sweet, something natural, something so simple that most people overlook it completely. Honey. Yes, honey. Just a spoonful before bed can work wonders for sleep. But why? Because honey does something special. It helps your brain store glycogen. See, one of the reasons people wake up in the middle of the night is because their brain runs out of stored energy. When that happens, your body releases stress hormones, jolting you awake. Honey prevents that. It gives your brain just enough slow-burning fuel to keep things stable while you sleep. That's why some of the world's oldest cultures, from the Egyptians to the Chinese, have used honey as a natural sleep remedy for centuries. But not all honey is the same. Raw, unfiltered honey is best because it still contains all the natural enzymes and nutrients that processed honey loses. So here's a simple nighttime trick. Take a teaspoon of raw honey, mix it into warm almond milk, and sip it slowly. That's 3 powerful sleep aids in one drink. And I promise you, it works better than any pill you'll find at the pharmacy. But we're not done yet. There are still 2 more foods left to discuss. 2 foods that most people never even think of when it comes to sleep. Foods that don't just help you fall asleep faster, but also improve the quality of your sleep, so you wake up feeling truly rested. Sleep is a funny thing, isn't it? When you try too hard, it slips away. But when you stop forcing it, it often comes quietly, like an old friend showing up at your door. And that's the point, really. Sleep isn't about forcing. It's about preparing, like planting seeds in the soil and trusting them to grow. We've already talked about pumpkin seeds, warm milk, almonds, and honey. Simple foods that help your body relax, reset, and drift off naturally. But there are 2 more foods that deserve your attention. Foods that, if you let them, can transform the way you sleep forever. Let's start with something unexpected. Cherries. Now, I know what you're thinking. Cherries? Really? Those little red fruits you snack on in the summer? Yes, those very same. Cherries are one of the richest natural sources of melatonin you can find. Melatonin, as you might know, is the hormone that controls your sleep-wake cycle. Your body produces it when it's time to wind down, signaling that bedtime is near. But sometimes stress, screens, or even aging can reduce your melatonin levels, and that's when sleep starts to suffer. Here's where cherries come in. Tart cherries, in particular, are packed with natural melatonin. Eating a handful in the evening or drinking a small glass of tart cherry juice can give your body the extra melatonin it needs to fall asleep naturally. And it's not just me saying this. There are studies to back it up. Researchers have found that people who consume tart cherry juice regularly not only fall asleep faster but also stay asleep longer. And the best part? No grogginess in the morning. No hangover feeling that sleeping pills often leave behind. But there's a little trick most people don't know. If you want the best results, don't eat cherries right before bed. Eat them about an hour or 2 before you plan to sleep. That gives your body time to absorb the melatonin and start the process naturally. It's like setting the stage for sleep before the curtain rises. And here's something interesting. Cherries aren't just about melatonin. They're also full of antioxidants that reduce inflammation and calm your nervous system. Because let's be honest, half the reason we can't sleep is that our bodies are on edge. Our minds race, our muscles tense up, and we just can't seem to let go. But cherries help. They soothe you from the inside out, making it easier for your body to relax and let sleep take over. Now that's 5 foods, but there's one more natural remedy that's been used for centuries. Not a fruit, not a seed, not milk or honey, but something equally humble. Oatmeal. Yes, oatmeal. Not just a breakfast food, but a powerful sleep aid when eaten at the right time. Most people think of oatmeal as a morning meal, something to give you energy for the day ahead. But oatmeal is rich in complex carbohydrates that increase the availability of tryptophan in your brain. Remember tryptophan, that amino acid that helps produce serotonin and melatonin. Oatmeal helps your body use it more efficiently. And it's not just the tryptophan. Oatmeal also contains magnesium and potassium, 2 minerals that relax muscles and calm nerves. It's like giving your body a gentle nudge towards sleep. But here's the key. When you eat it matters. A small bowl of oatmeal in the evening, about an hour before bed, can make a world of difference. Add a little honey for sweetness, maybe a few almonds for extra magnesium, and you've got a bedtime snack that's more powerful than any pill. And let me tell you, this isn't new wisdom. Ancient cultures knew the power of simple foods. They didn't have sleeping pills, but they had nature. They understood that food isn't just fuel, it's medicine. So now we have all 6 foods: pumpkin seeds, warm milk, almonds, honey, cherries, and oatmeal. Each one simple, natural, and effective. But knowing what to eat is only half the battle. The other half? It's how you eat. Because let's be honest, you can eat all the pumpkin seeds and cherries in the world. But if you're gulping them down while scrolling through your phone or stressing about tomorrow, sleep will still be hard to find. Knowing which foods help you sleep is a good start, but knowing how to use them, that's where the real magic happens. It's like having a toolbox full of the finest tools, but never learning how to hold them right. You see, sleep isn't just about what you put in your body. It's also about when and how you do it. Timing, preparation, and even your mindset matter just as much as the foods themselves. Let's go back to those pumpkin seeds. You remember we talked about their magnesium and tryptophan, right? Well, here's the thing. Magnesium works best when your body isn't overloaded. That's why snacking on pumpkin seeds too close to a heavy meal can make them less effective. Your body's busy digesting everything else, and those sleep-enhancing minerals take a back seat. So if you really want pumpkin seeds to help you sleep, eat them as a light snack in the early evening, not right before bed. Just a handful is enough. Now, let's talk about warm milk or almond milk. The warmth itself is soothing, but have you ever thought about why? It's not just the nutrients, it's the ritual. Think about it. Sitting down quietly with a warm drink in your hands, away from the noise of the day, tells your brain, it's time to slow down. It's not just the milk that helps you sleep. It's the act of drinking it slowly, without distractions. That moment of calm prepares your mind for rest. But here's where people often go wrong. They rush it. They heat up the milk, drink it fast, and then jump right back into whatever they were doing. Emails, TV shows, endless scrolling on their phones. And then they wonder why sleep doesn't come. It's not just the milk that matters. It's the pause. That little window of peace when you're doing nothing but sipping slowly. It might sound simple, but trust me, it makes all the difference. And almonds. Those little powerhouses of magnesium. You know what works even better than eating them plain? Soaking them. Yes, soaking almonds overnight softens them and makes their nutrients easier for your body to absorb. So when you eat soaked almonds in the evening, your body gets a faster, more efficient dose of magnesium. And when your muscles relax faster, sleep follows naturally. Now let's not forget honey. Remember that teaspoon of raw honey we talked about? Here's a little secret. Honey works even better when you combine it with herbal teas, chamomile, lavender, or even plain hot water with a squeeze of lemon. Honey dissolves easily and adds that touch of sweetness, while the warm liquid calms your nervous system. It's like giving your body a double dose of relaxation. But there's one thing to remember. Don't overdo the honey. A teaspoon is enough. More than that, and you might give your body too much sugar to process, which could keep you awake instead of helping you sleep. Cherries, especially tart cherries, are another one where timing matters. An hour before bed, like we said. But here's a trick most people don't know. If you can't find fresh tart cherries, dried ones work, too. Just make sure they're unsweetened. And if you're drinking cherry juice, make sure it's 100% juice with no added sugars. That natural melatonin needs a clear path to work its magic, and too much sugar can get in the way. And finally, oatmeal. Not a big heavy bowl like you'd have in the morning, but a small portion. And the best part? You can customize it. Add a few soaked almonds for magnesium, a drizzle of honey for steady energy through the night, and even some chopped cherries for melatonin. That's 3 sleep-enhancing foods in one simple, comforting bowl. But here's where the wisdom of age comes in. It's not just about eating these foods. It's about creating a routine. Because sleep, like anything worth having, needs consistency. You can't expect one bowl of oatmeal or one glass of milk to fix months or years of poor sleep habits. But if you make these foods part of your nightly routine, your body starts to recognize the signals. It starts to understand that when you eat that handful of pumpkin seeds, when you sip that warm milk, when you taste that honey, it's time to wind down. And let's talk about screens for a moment. I know you've heard it before. Put the phone away, turn off the TV, avoid bright lights. But here's why it matters. Your brain is like a sponge, soaking up everything around it. And bright screens, fast-moving images, endless scrolling, they keep your brain on high alert. Even if you're tired, your brain is still running. It's like pressing the gas pedal while trying to park the car. So here's a piece of advice from someone who's been around long enough to know. Give yourself 30 minutes. Just 30 minutes before bed without screens. Use that time to eat your evening snack, drink your warm milk, maybe read a few pages of a book or just sit quietly. That half hour can be the difference between tossing and turning all night and falling asleep peacefully. And one more thing. Don't underestimate the power of small changes. You don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. Start with 1 or 2 of these foods. Maybe tonight have a handful of pumpkin seeds and a warm glass of almond milk. See how it feels. And then, slowly, add more. Because sleep, like life, is about balance. It's about giving your body what it needs and trusting it to do the rest. So here we are, at the end of this conversation. And yet, maybe it's the beginning of something new for you. Something simple, something old-fashioned in the best way. Peaceful night's sleep, not from a bottle of pills, but from nature itself. We've talked about 6 foods: pumpkin seeds, warm milk or almond milk, almonds, honey, cherries, and oatmeal. Each one humble and unassuming, yet powerful enough to guide you into restful sleep if you let them. But now the question is, how do you make this a part of your life? It starts with a choice to slow down. Life moves fast, too fast sometimes. Mornings are rushed, days are packed, evenings are often spent trying to catch up on everything we couldn't finish during the day. And sleep? Sleep becomes an afterthought, something we squeeze in between all the noise. But sleep isn't something you squeeze in. It's something you make room for. And making room means creating small rituals that signal to your body, it's time to rest now. So let's build a routine together, step by step. Imagine it's evening, the day is done, and the sun is starting to set. Maybe you've had dinner, and now you're settling in. This is the moment to start preparing for sleep, even if bedtime is still a few hours away. Maybe you begin with a handful of pumpkin seeds, just a small snack to start signaling to your body that relaxation is coming. And while you're eating them, you're not checking your phone or watching TV. You're just sitting quietly, maybe reflecting on your day, maybe chatting with someone you love, or maybe just enjoying the silence. Later in the evening, as bedtime gets closer, you prepare a warm drink. Maybe it's warm milk if that suits you, or almond milk if you prefer. You add a teaspoon of honey, stirring it gently, watching the honey dissolve. And then you sit down with your drink, taking slow sips, letting the warmth fill you. No rush, no distractions. Just you and this simple moment of calm. If you're someone who likes a bedtime snack, you might have a small bowl of oatmeal. Not too much, just enough to feel comforted. Maybe you add a few soaked almonds for that extra magnesium, or a few chopped cherries for melatonin. Maybe you drizzle a little honey on top. Each bite is not just nourishing your body, but also calming your mind. And about an hour before bed, you turn off the screens. Yes, it's hard at first. We're so used to filling every moment with entertainment or information. But this time, without screens, is a gift to yourself. Maybe you read a book, not on a tablet, but a real book with pages you can turn. Or maybe you listen to soft music. Or maybe you just sit in the quiet, letting your mind slow down. And when it's time for bed, you lie down knowing you've given your body everything it needs for restful sleep. Your muscles feel relaxed from the magnesium. Your brain feels calm from the tryptophan, and your energy levels are stable from the honey. You close your eyes, and sleep comes naturally. Not forced, not chased, but welcomed. But here's the real wisdom, the kind that only comes with age and experience. Routines like this don't just happen. They take time, patience, consistency, and most of all, kindness to yourself. Because some nights, even with all the right foods and rituals, sleep might still play hard to get. And that's okay. One night doesn't define you. What matters is that you keep showing up, keep nourishing your body, keep creating space for rest. And here's something else worth remembering. Better sleep doesn't just make your nights better, it makes your days better too. When you wake up rested, everything feels different. You're more present, more patient, more alive. The little things that used to bother you don't seem so big anymore. You have more energy for the things you love, and more clarity for the challenges you face. So, give it time. Start small. Maybe tonight it's just a handful of pumpkin seeds and a glass of warm milk. Tomorrow, maybe you add a bit of honey, or try some cherries. Let it be a process. Let it be something you grow into. Because here's the truth. Nature has always known what we need. Long before sleeping pills and endless remedies, there was food. Simple, nourishing, healing food. And sometimes the answers we're looking for aren't in the newest trends or the latest inventions. Sometimes they're in the oldest wisdom, the kind that whispers, slow down, nourish yourself, rest. And if you listen closely, that whisper can become a lullaby. Sleep well,